Welcome to the Go Higher Show, where we are dedicated to higher levels of leadership, purpose, and the power of transformation. We empower and equip leaders to rise, mindsets to transform, and legacies to evolve. Hosted by Mr. Hakim Erwin, author, leadership and public speaking coach, and the Transformational Influencer. Here on the Go Higher Show, we are dedicated to helping individuals transform your mindset, build character and emotional intelligence, develop executive presence, lead with integrity and influence, and prepare for greater assignments. Welcome again to the Go Higher Show. Let's go. Welcome to the Go Higher Show. My name is Hakim Erwin, and I am an author. I am a leadership and public speaking coach, a podcast host, and your transformational influencer. The Go Higher Show is brought to you by Greater Faith and Favor Life, LLC, where the vision is believe greater, live greater. So on today, we are going to be talking about why leaders must master restraint. Because see, in this particular leadership principle, this is one that doesn't really trend. This is one that doesn't really go viral. It doesn't get celebrated as much as it probably should, but it does determine whether your leadership becomes a blessing or a burden. And that's essential. Is your leadership being a blessing to individuals, or is it being a burden to individuals? So let's talk about restraint, not suppression, not silence, not even weakness, but the disciplined ability to hold your power, to hold your peace, to hold your emotions and your reactions in alignment with your assignment. That's powerful. Make sure that your reactions stay in alignment with your assignment. So you really have to know what your assignment is. And what your assignment truly is the one that you are on right now. A lot of times what we fail to do is we're constantly looking for something bigger, or we're not even looking at what's in front of us, where we are right now, the assignment that we are standing in, moving in, operating in, because we're constantly looking at the next one or the one that we want to be at. And it's okay to view it, to envision it, but don't allow yourself to be looking so far into the future of where you want to be that is causing you problems and issues in the assignment that you have right now. You're out of alignment. So make sure that your restraint, holding your restraint, allows you to be in alignment with your assignment. Because see, the truth of the matter is most leaders, they don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they lack temperance. They fail because they can't control the part of them that rises up at the wrong time. They're crashing out at the wrong time. And now it's important to unleash sometimes. It's important to crash out sometimes. But you have to do it in the right environment, around the right individuals, the individuals that want to truly protect you from not only harming the environment, but harming yourself. If you are going to lead at a high level in boardrooms, even in ministry, in your community, or even in your own household, then you must master restraint. So let's go higher. See, restraint is one of the highest forms of leadership maturity. It's the invisible discipline that protects your credibility, your relationships, your influence, your peace. When exercising authority, one must operate in the realm of responsibility, not possibility. And responsibility requires restraint. You see, because leadership, it magnifies everything. It magnifies the fact that your words carry weight. Your reactions echo further, 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 right? Your emotions influence environments. Your decisions impact people who depend on your stability. And here's the part that most people miss: the higher you rise, the less freedom you have to react emotionally. And that's what I mean about being able to crash out, being able to unleash your emotions in the right place. Because the higher you go, that box, that area, that environment, that room that you have to really react emotionally, it gets smaller and smaller. It's still available, but it gets smaller. Because as human beings, we need to be able to express ourselves. But you have to be mindful where you do it, how you do it, and who you do it around. All right. It's usually best not to do it around anyone if you can. But this happens not because you're restricted, right? That higher you go, or the higher you rise, and the less freedom you have to react emotionally. That doesn't happen because you're restricted. It happens because you're responsible. You have a lot of responsibility, even more responsibilities when you go higher. Restraint is the difference between reacting and responding, impulse and intention, ego and wisdom, insecurity and identity. A leader who cannot restrain themselves becomes unpredictable, and unpredictability is the enemy of trust. And as we talked about in a few episodes ago, trust, leaders who build trust are essential. So you don't want to do things that will destroy the trust that people have in you. And losing restraint, or not being able to master your restraint, will definitely make trust an enemy. Because, see, people don't follow who are emotionally unpredictable. They follow leaders who are emotionally governed. You have to be emotionally governed. Restraint is not about holding back your power, it's about directing it with precision. You got to be precise. So let's break this down, because there are three critical areas where leaders must master restraint if they want to remain effective, trustworthy, and elevated. Number one, restraint in emotion. Feel it, but don't let it lead you. Feel it, but don't let it lead you. Emotion is not the enemy. Unmanaged emotion is the enemy. See, every leader feels frustrated. They feel disappointment, pressure, and even insecurity at times. We're human, that happens. But emotional maturity is the ability to feel deeply without reacting recklessly. You can't have reckless leadership. That's the fastest way to crumble or destroy anything that was built. Now, Napoleon Hill says something in his book, Think and Grow Rich, that speaks directly to this. He wrote, self discipline begins with the mastery of your thoughts. Self discipline begins with the mastery of your thoughts. That means restraint doesn't begin with your mouth, it begins with your mind. If you can't master your thoughts, then you can't master your reactions. And if you can't master your reactions, you can't be trusted with responsibility. Leaders who rise high are leaders who think before they speak. They process before they respond. They pause before they react. And they govern the inner world before they ever try to influence the outer world. Emotional restraint is not about being robotic. It's about being responsible. Number two, restraint in speech. Just because you can say it doesn't mean you should. All right. You got to know when to say things and when not to say things. Because words are tools, words are weapons, words are seeds, and leaders must know which one they are planting. You have to know which seed you're planting. One sentence that's spoken in anger can fracture trust. One sarcastic comment can shut down creativity. One emotionally charged outburst, one crash out, can make a room feel unsafe. And you never want people to feel unsafe under your leadership. Restraint in speech means you understand the weight of your voice. It means you choose clarity over cleverness, purpose over pettiness. All right. I'm laughing because I know a lot about being petty, right? I've even been called Petty Eddie before. So I know, and some of y'all out there laughing with me because you know about being petty. All right. But restraint, when you are restrained in your speech, again, it means that you understand the weight of your voice. It means that you're choosing clarity over cleverness, purpose over pettiness, and wisdom over winning in the moment. Sometimes we're so focused on winning an argument, right? Or winning the situation that we're not understanding it's better to exercise wisdom in this particular situation than it is me being the victor in this situation. Actually, I think when you exercise the wisdom in those difficult or challenging situations, you do ultimately become the winner. But leaders' words should build, they should never bruise. And then number three, restraint and timing. Not now doesn't mean not ever. Many leaders sabotage opportunities not because they lack gifting, but because they lack timing. All right. They rush, they force, they push. They try to make something happen before its season. Restraint honors timing. It recognizes that preparation must happen, or preparation must precede promotion. Preparation must proceed or precede promotion. I'll get it right. All right, this is live, y'all. This is live. It understands that Elohim Most High, Yahweh, God, elevates at the appropriate time and not the emotional time. Your emotions are not necessarily a factor when it comes to when Elohim Most High does the elevating. He does it at his time, which is the appropriate time, and not your emotional time. Because restraint and timing is the discipline of trusting the process, even when your potential is ready, right? But your character is still maturing. And oftentimes we can't see that until difficult situations are put our way. So let me give you a picture. Let me paint a picture for you and give you a story that illustrates the power of restraint. Years ago, I watched two leaders enter the same opportunity. Both of them were gifted, both were intelligent, both had potential. But their responses to pressure revealed their preparation. The first leader was brilliant, but very reactive. Whenever he felt misunderstood, he defended himself. Whenever he felt overlooked, he made it known. And whenever he felt challenged, he pushed back. His emotions were always in the driver's seat. That's not good. Even though he had the talent, the room could never trust him with responsibility because emotions guided everything. Now, that second leader was quieter and grounded. They were quieter, but they were grounded. He listened fully, right? Exercise active listening. He didn't rush to prove himself. He didn't interrupt people. He didn't let his ego speak for him. He understood the power of restraint. And because of that, the room could trust him. They trusted him because they saw maturity. They saw stability. They saw someone who could carry the weight without dropping it. And here's the lesson. People don't follow the loudest leader. They follow the most self-governed one. Because restraint communicates maturity, and maturity communicates trustworthiness, and trustworthiness opens the door that talent never will. So let me give you three practical takeaways, three practical ways that'll strengthen restraint in your leadership transformation. Number one, practice the pause. Practice the pause. Before you respond, just pause for a moment. Before you react, breathe. Before you speak, think. Think before you speak. Because see, the pause is where wisdom enters. Wisdom has a chance or an opportunity to enter during the pause. And where emotion settles and clarity rises, that's where the wisdom enters during that pause. So number one, practice the pause. Number two, train your emotions. Don't trust them. Okay? Do not trust your emotions, but train them. Your emotions are indicators. They're not instructors. All right? Your emotions are not your coach. All right? Let me be your coach. All right? Your emotions are indicators, not instructors. They tell you something is happening. They don't tell you what to do. And if they are telling you what to do, don't listen to them. Don't trust them. Usually they lead you in the wrong direction. All right. Just look at your past life and look at how when you moved when you were upset or did things when you were too happy or whatever, right? You were emotional when you made decisions. Hey, that doesn't work out good. I would say 99.999% of the time. Don't trust your emotions, but train them. Training your emotions means that you acknowledge them without obeying them. All right, number two, train your emotions, don't trust them. And number three, honor timing as a leadership strategy. Restraint is about waiting for clarity, waiting for peace, waiting for the right moment. And you'll know that moment when it surfaces. Timing is a leadership weapon when you know how to use it. So don't rush what Elohim Most High is refining. All right, so those three practical takeaways again. Number one, practice the pause. Number two, train your emotions, don't trust them. And number three, honor timing as a leadership strategy. Now, restraint is not about holding back your greatness. It's about protecting it. It's not about holding back your greatness. It's about protecting it. It's the discipline that keeps your leadership steady, your influence strong, and your character intact. See, when you master restraint, you become a leader who carries weight without collapsing, speaks with purpose, not impulse, responds with wisdom, not emotion, and moves with timing, not tension. When you master restraint, you master yourself. You master yourself, and you become a leader who's worthy of trust, responsibility, and elevation. And remember, you weren't created to stay low. You weren't designed to stay average. You were built to go higher. Be blessed. My challenge to you today is if this episode encouraged, empowered, inspired, or impacted you, or even if it simply planted a seed of transformation, then share it with someone who's ready to lead differently. Thank you again for joining us on the brand new Go Higher show. I pray you were blessed by the information, the insights, and the challenges that were all shared. For all speaking engagements, public speaking, and leadership coaching, send your requests to gfflifellc@gmail.com. That's gfflifellc@gmail.com. Also, be sure to go on over to Amazon.com and check out the books, Standing Before Kings, OG Testimony, The Blue Folder, The Art of Spiritual War, and the original first edition of the OG Testimony is Not What You Think. All 4 titles now available over on Amazon. The brand new Go Higher show is brought to you by Greater Faith and Favor Life, GFF Life LLC, where the vision is believe greater, live greater. God bless.